everybody. Good morning or afternoon, whenever you're watching this. This is Tracy Brown. And a little later start than I typically do for my videos, and I'm inside because it's Florida and it's raining as usual. So I wanted to share something that happened this morning I thought would be really relevant to all of our journeys, and it made me think about how hard, at least it used to be for me, to do this for myself. So maybe you struggle with this too. So I was making my daughter's favorite breakfast, and with her favorite breakfast, she likes honey, and I didn't have any. And so as said breakfast was being cooked, I could kind of put it to the side. I literally just oh, well, I can go get honey, and I love you, and I want you to have the kind of breakfast that would be satisfying to you and your favorite. And so I went to the store and got her honey. Now, luckily, actually, I live kind of far out, but I don't have a big day going on today, so I thought I would just go do it because, gosh, I want her to be satisfied. I want her to feel cared for, and we needed it anyway. But I was just happy to do it for her because, I want her to know that her needs are important, and if I can do it relatively, if it's relatively makes sense, for the situation, I'm happy to do it. And I'm even willing to when it doesn't make sense to do it, by the way. Because technically I wasn't going to leave the house today, but I did, just because I wanted to. And that made me think of, for me, let's say 15 years ago, it had been really difficult. I wouldn't have done that for myself, because I didn't feel like I deserved it. I didn't know what it was like to be okay with having a need, asking, even admitting to myself what my needs are. Like, oh, I want honey with my whatever breakfast I'm having, and we don't have any. It would have been difficult for me to even, let alone knowing that maybe I'm the only one in the house who wanted the honey, and to even get it for myself while at the grocery store, 4 days earlier. That would have been difficult for me. In fact, the truth is that probably between 15 and 20 years ago, I would often go to the grocery store and not get anything I really wanted. I would make the things for a balanced meal, but I rarely ever got things that I wanted, like, oh, my favorite dessert or candy or my favorite kind of rice. I would only get what everybody else kind of wanted or needed, versus make known that I wanted or needed something. And this is not big deal stuff here, people. This would be like, oh, I like brown rice better than white rice, or I like white bread better than brown bread, but somebody else wanted something different, and so I wouldn't get what I wanted as well. And that's what gets us into trouble so much. That's what builds up this feelings of abandonment and resentment and shame. It's this recircling and recycling of those old wounds. And so how do we fix that? I'm just going to come out and say it, is that we first have to start with being honest and acknowledging, I like honey, or I like dessert, or I like whatever. And being willing to think about, hey, some of the reason I really struggle with my food intake, let's say if you struggle with deprivation-driven eating, which is what I did, 20 years ago, is I'm going to eat anyway. I'm going to eat through the back door, so I might as well eat through the front door. And what that means is, if I don't get what I like, I'm going to go back to the store and buy something that maybe I don't want out of impulse, but it sounds really good, and I'm too hungry, and I'm kind of beat down from all the dissatisfaction, so I'm going to eat a bag of candy versus, let's say, have a meal that I wanted with a nice dessert and then move on. And so first I had to recognize, yeah, I'm a person who likes whatever my favorite meals were. Lasagna, salmon bento boxes, Twizzlers, whatever my favorite stuff was. And routinely, well, that's number 2. Step 1, acknowledge what you like. Acknowledge what you need. If you can start with that, you're doing good. Really, really, really good. Number 2 is to start maybe taking some small risks. So maybe you can't allow yourself to have a turn having your favorite meal on the weekend. I hope you can. I hope you're at that place yet. If you can't, maybe start with, can I buy my favorite dressing that nobody else likes? Or can I buy lemonade because I'm really wanting it and nobody else in the house cares if we have lemonade or not. And by the way, you don't have to have people in your own house to do this for yourself. This happens for people who live alone, don't let themselves truly have what they want to eat or drink or watch their favorite shows or whatever. So it can run the spectrum, or heck, even be in the major in school that you actually want to be at, or be in a career that you want to be in. This runs the gamut, but it can start with food. So acknowledge you have needs, number one. Number two, start to acknowledge what you like and need, number two. Number three, can you take some small risk? And number four, as you're taking these small risks, you have to pay attention. What did it feel like to get that need met? What did it feel like to mother myself in the way that all people deserve to be mothered? We all deserve to have like a very, a minimum good enough mothering. And sometimes we didn't, or missed the mark, or whatever. We're not going to even go there on this video today. But this is about, if we didn't get what we need, learning how to be that good caretaker for ourselves. So this is what this video is about, is if you want the honey right now, be willing to go out of your way to give yourself the honey. All right. Hope this video was helpful. I know it was a little bit short, but anyway, I hope this was helpful to you today. Please leave your comments or questions below. I'd be happy to answer your questions. And this topic goes deep. One of my favorite topics to talk about, needs and wants, and getting our needs met, and acknowledging we have them, and feeling what it feels like to get one met, and then to continue on that process. So take care, y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.